Hello and welcome. Today we'll be talking about predictable schedules and routines. I'm Lisa Swain from the Connecticut Pyramid Partnership, and we're going to be looking at an important component of high quality supportive environments, part of the base of the pyramid model. Just a recap. If you joined us on prior meetings, the pyramid model supports children in their developing capacity from birth through 5 to form close and secure relationships, experience, regulate, and express emotions in socially and culturally appropriate ways, and to explore the environment and learn, all in the context of family, community, and culture. As caregivers, we're responsible for setting up the physical space, choosing schedules, activities, and playthings, and engaging in the interactions that make up the learning experience for young children. Some essentials that make a big difference in reducing challenging behavior are a 5-to-1 ratio of positive attention, which we talked about last month. And there is a video available if you would like to see that. Today, we'll be talking about predictable schedules and routines. Next month, we'll focus on behavioral expectations, and then we'll wrap up with peer-related social skills. All of these things make a big difference in the day-to-day classroom experience for children and for caregivers. So today we focus on schedules. Why are schedules so important? They actually are a tool. Schedules are a mechanism for helping young children learn self-management skills. Children who are more competent at self-management are more likely to be able to manage their arousal state, including their emotions. And it's important to remember that emotional regulation is one of the key skills children must learn in order to be socially competent. What is our reaction when our schedule keeps changing? Most adults don't like it, and children really have a tough time with that. The more we can help them know what to expect, we'll give them the confidence and the competence to be able to regulate their day and their emotions. So this was taken from Building Meaningful Curriculum, one of the guides, the supporting documents for the Connecticut Early Learning and Development Standards from the Office of Early Childhood. And scheduling is the intentional teacher's goal to offer children a rich and varied mix of learning opportunities within a supportive framework of routine. The daily schedule is an important part of intentional teaching. Routines can provide a secure foundation for children's growth and development if they address children's physical, emotional, and learning needs. It's important to establish a consistent yet flexible daily routine, allow for a variety of types of activities, and use a variety of groupings and activities we provide. Allow just enough time for each type of activity and consider the balance that occurs across the day.
You can guide children's behavior by creating a schedule that allows children to make choices and maintain control over their own behavior and learning. A good schedule breaks up sitting periods with free play. Active free play time actually helps children to pay better attention during group activities. The ideal length for a free play period is about 40 minutes. Children need enough time to move around the classroom, make choices, and interact with peers. Research has shown that children need some teacher-guided breaks. This may come as a surprise, but if children play in an open-ended way for too long, they grow tired, bored, and more aggressive.
A recent study was done in Europe to identify the factors in early childhood programs that would predict positive child development and growth. And they found that one of the most powerful predictors was the balance between teacher-directed activities and child-initiated activities. They found that in a program where 50% of the activities were directed and structured by the teachers and the other 50% was initiated by children, they found that these programs were the most effective.
Outdoor play is another important component of the daily schedule. We all know that running, climbing, and riding are critical for physical health. Outdoor time also enhances attention and learning at school. When children come in from the playground, they need a few minutes to calm down. Then they are far more attentive and engaged in learning tasks than they were before they went out. So even if they can only get out for a few minutes during a cold day, it is worth it.
So this is a great activity for all classroom teachers, and it's a good idea to do each year as we have new children and possibly co-teachers. So we want to write down our daily schedule, and you can use one you already have or just jot down your basic times that everything occurs during your day. And once you have that, you should get 6 different colors of crayons or pens or markers, and you're going to start with active and calm and go through your schedule and look at what parts of the day are active, and you can mark those red, and what parts of the day are calm, and you can use a blue marking for that. Once you finish that, you're going to look at large group and small group using the green and yellow and go through your whole day marking those. And the last thing you're going to do is start at the top again and look at teacher-directed and child-directed activities and color code those all the way down. And if you don't have these 6 colors, you can use whatever colors you have, but we're really just looking to get a visual idea with the colors of what your day looks like. And we're hoping to get a good balance of active and calm throughout the day, of large group and small group, and of teacher-directed and child-directed. We ask that you put an X next to activities with frequent challenging behaviors. Perhaps you'll see that those behaviors are happening when you have too many of one color in a row. And that can be an idea of how you can switch your schedule a little bit, and maybe you'll eliminate these behaviors. The schedule is one of the most important things to teach to children and to make sure that they understand the expectations of the schedule and routines. We also can look at times of day. Perhaps the behaviors are happening in the transition between outside and inside. How can we look at our transitions and maybe make them more engaging or provide visuals to cut down on those challenging behaviors? And we'll explore some of those strategies today. With a visual schedule, we want to teach it every day throughout the year, not just at the beginning of the school year, but every single day. We want to establish a routine and follow it consistently and teach children exactly what we expect of them. So children come to school and many or most of them have different expectations at home. We really need to be clear about what we expect of them when they're with us during the day. When changes are necessary, prepare children using the picture schedule. You can use a symbol like you see here with the zigzag and let them know there's a zigzag in our schedule today at story time. Something different is going to happen, and you'll see that in the video I'm going to show next. You can also provide children who have difficulty following the schedule with their own individualized support. So you might use that middle one, it's time for choice time. And you might also use a first then board. And you can make this into a book if that's better for some children. And first you're going to do this, and then small group. It often works best with first then when there is something that the child really wants to do in the then column, and they know that first they're going to do the weather and then they get to do small group if that's something that they really like. So I'm going to show you a video of a teacher demonstrating how the visual schedule can be used.
Group time. Group time. Tea time. Tea time. It's group time.
By using a visual schedule, we're able to give the children a sense of what the sequence of the day is going to be. But we also have a history to the day. So each time we look at the schedule, we say first we played, and then what did we do? And I call on everybody. And if something happens that we have to change our schedule for any reason at all, so for instance, if it starts to rain, and then Sophie, are we going outside today?
No.
No. Usually we go outside right after group, but not today.
It's
a rainy, snowy day. I like to give them a chance to participate in what's happening during their day, and everything is not written in stone. There's a lot of flexibility. When our music therapist comes, we put the picture up, and they come in and they look at the schedule and they say, Music Gina's coming today. So it gives everybody that chance to spread good news. We're going to have group, and then we're going to have Music Gina. Let me ask you a question. And it's very, very helpful in helping those kids organize themselves, but it's also very helpful in eliminating the amount of reminding and talking that the staff have to do.
So you saw in that video that the teacher really used the visual schedule to guide children and also cut down on how often she had to remind children of what was coming next. Often children ask, when are we going outside? When are we going outside? Or when is mom coming to pick me up? We can use the visual schedule so that they can see for themselves when things are happening. And teachers who have used the visual schedule on a consistent basis say that it has completely changed their day and cut down on challenging behavior in a significant amount. So when we look at routines, we want to maintain consistent and predictable expectations for our routines. And we can use visuals for that, like you see above with the routine of washing hands. And this gives lots of steps, or you might have a more simple one on the right-hand top. Either way, we're using the visuals until the children don't need them anymore. And then we can take them down and we can put them back up if the kids need reminders. We want to use consistent hello and goodbye routines. And it's important to learn some small phrases in a child's home language to reassure them that family and caregivers will be back to get them. We want to allow enough time for hellos and goodbyes and create a special hello and goodbye place. You see one of our NCPMI resources from the National Center for Pyramid Model Innovations is this new greetings board. This could be part of your hello routine where you have this at a certain spot when families come in and the child can choose how they want to greet you. All of these resources can be found at challengingbehavior.org. And these visuals can help support children's comfort with separation. We can also use scripted stories, and there are many examples of that on challengingbehavior.org as well. We can use turn-taking schedules. Here, I would recommend using pictures or photos of children unless they know how to spell their name. But you can see that when Mark is finished with his turn, he's going to put it in all done, and then Adam knows that he's the next one to go. On the right-hand side, you see picture cues with song choices. This is something that some teachers use at circle time so that the children, they have some say in what's going on, and they can choose the song for the day, or maybe 2 or 3 songs, or a finger play. That helps to keep the children engaged. So this is a video from the National Center on Quality Teaching and Learning about transitions, a time of the day when we often see challenging behavior.
In well-organized classrooms, children and adults move efficiently from one activity or routine to another. Children make many transitions every day in their early childhood classrooms. Every classroom has its own schedule of activities. Regardless, the children move from activity to activity, from circle time to the interest areas to the playground, and back inside to use the bathroom, wash hands, then eat at the snack table, and regroup again for story time or music, and on and on. Transitions can be stressful. Children may spend too much time waiting, and problem behaviors often occur during transitions. But there are ways to make transitions go more smoothly, and even ways to make them learning opportunities. To help plan for better transitions, it can be helpful to think about what to do before the transition, during the transition, and following the transition. Here are a few things to think about before the transition. Plan a daily schedule of activities that minimizes the number of transitions the children need to make, particularly the number of transitions in which all of the children have to do the same thing at the same time. And include your transition plan in your schedule. Plan ahead so that the adults in the room know their role during the transitions. And plan and prepare cues, including visual supports, that help children understand what's expected during the transition.
Where would you like to go? What's that called again?
The kitchen.
The kitchen. What are you going to do in the kitchen? You're going to do some cooking. Okay, maybe next to you I can see something that you're cooking.
There are also some ways that teachers help children during the transition. They sing songs or play word games with the children while they are making the transition. They also allow children enough time to finish or store their work before moving on to the next activity. And they plan for those children who finish quickly or get to the next activity early. Give these children something to do while they are waiting for the rest of the children, or make sure there is an adult ready to receive them and get the next activity going.
Are you using the computer or are you writing on the lab board?
I'll write it on the map.
Okay, so let's take your pass over to the cozy area. Take your pass with you to the cozy area. All right? Because someone else may want to use the computer. Okay?
Learning how to make transitions can be difficult. During and after the transition, be sure to acknowledge the children's efforts by providing positive attention and words that tell them you recognize their appropriate transition behaviors, such as cleaning up and putting things away, and stopping one activity to move on to another. The children are learning how to be a part of a group and how to follow the routine. Let them know you appreciate it. Transitions can be the most stressful and challenging times of the preschool day. But by planning ahead, making a schedule that eliminates unnecessary transitions, and using music, games, pictures, and more, teachers can make the day go more smoothly and help children become more confident and independent as they learn the classroom routine. Check out our tips for teachers and useful resources to fill your teacher toolkit with ideas you can use.
So here's an example of some visuals that have been used to help children with lining up outside. They can assist children on where to stand in line and where to stop. And they show exactly where they can put their feet. One thing the video just mentioned, we want to minimize the time children spend waiting with nothing to do. So we can often look at our schedules and see that the challenging behaviors are happening during transitions when kids are waiting with nothing to do. How do we change that? We want to allow children to transition as they're ready rather than waiting to transition at the same time, if at all possible. so that we can say, Peter, Nina, and Luca have finished cleaning up their lunch, so they can choose their first center and begin center time. We know that sometimes things happen during the day that are outside of our control. So if we get our lunch delivered to our classroom and it's running late, that's something that we have no ability to change, but we can have a bag of tricks ready with visuals or just finger plays or songs, things that we can do to make the time more engaging. Some ideas that just came up today from teachers are to do I Spy with the kids, or thinking of your favorite food and seeing if kids can guess as you give them some clues. Anything that you can do to make the time more fun and engaging for all of you. So the last thing is partnering with families. There are so many resources on challengingbehavior.org for families, and they're in many languages. And I'm going to show you how to find those right now. So we can go to challengingbehavior.org and go to the resource library here. And when we click down, we can filter by language. So let's say I'm going to put in English for now, but we can do all of these different languages. And I'm going to put in schedules. And here you see 2 pages of information for teachers and families to use on schedules and routines. Routines and schedules, how to help your child transition smoothly between places and activities. Here's what works briefs, understanding routines and schedules in the classroom. There's ideas for making a mini schedule, a circle mini schedule, and some other ideas and things to share with families. Also, I want to show you how you can go to the guide to the domains and strands, and you can see all of the strands for all of the 8 domains have a guide on environment, materials, and schedule. So these are the social emotional development strands, and this is really a helpful guide. Gives you to language information and working with children with different abilities. So I highly encourage you to go to the Connecticut ELD's Guide to the Domains and Strands, supporting all children in Connecticut. That's from the Office of Early Childhood, and also you can go to the Connecticut OEC to get more pyramid model resources as well. And if you go to the second page, you can get to the module training, which has all 18 hours. If you go to the 3rd page on the pyramid model resources on the OEC website, you can actually get the alignment with the Connecticut ELDS and the pyramid model. Many other resources for caregivers and families. So make sure to visit the Connecticut OEC website pyramid pages and also go to challengingbehavior.org. Thanks so much and have a great day.